Many people who comment on this bill did not even read it. And if they read it, they have not really studied the nuances of this bill. And I want to also say that most governors in Nigeria, not only in the north, are so pissed off because when this bill was being created by Tai Oyedele and his group, that they have never consulted any governor outside Lagos. So for them, it is an ego problem that it is only the views of the governor of Lagos that is in this bill. Whether they will accept this, my view, or not, I want to tell the world that this is the situation.
Alaji, no.
And I can't.
No, Alaji. The National Economic Committee, the NEC, comprising all the governors of the states, that bill was presented before them. It was also taken to FEC. So there was representation. It's not fair to say it's only Governor Sanwo-Olu.
Was it taken to the NEC and discussed with the other governors when this bill was being developed?
No. It was taken to NEC. It was taken to FEC.
I say no.
Okay, but it was taken.
Which one is NEC?
Alhaji Buba Galadima, a prominent northern politician known for his outspoken views, has once again stirred controversy with his remarks on national television. During a heated debate with Arise Television's Ruben Abati, Galadima criticized the contentious tax revenue bills currently under consideration by the National Assembly. The tax revenue bills are part of the broader fiscal overhaul aimed at addressing inefficiencies in Nigeria's tax system, enhancing revenue generation, and promoting economic growth. However, they have sparked nationwide debate due to claims of inadequate stakeholder engagement and concern over potential disparities in states' benefits. According to Galadima, the bills lack inclusivity, a factor he claims has triggered widespread dissatisfaction among state governors. He argued that the bills primarily favor states like Lagos and Ogun, alleging they were the only states consulted during the drafting process led by Tayo Oyedele's committee. Ruben Abati, however, countered Galadima's claims, pointing out the Federal Executive Council and the National Economic Council were consulted during the process. Galadima vehemently disagreed, insisting the consultation was inadequate and excluded key stakeholders. Critics of the bills, including Galadima, argued that their passage could exacerbate regional inequalities, while prominents insist they were necessary to modernize Nigeria's tax structure and ensure long-term fiscal stability. Now, let's turn to the exchange between the two to get a clearer picture of the debate.
Alhaji, chairman of the Tax Reform and Fiscal Policy Reform Committee, Taiwo Oyedele, was very emphatic. He said, this bill is about fairness, justice, and the principles are to expand Nigeria's tax base, to get more revenue for government, and to improve compliance. This will look to any right-thinking person or society as basic objectives. To improve compliance, to expand revenue base, to, also generate revenue for government. But Northern governors are saying this is not possible. Northern leaders are saying, no, withdraw the bill. Everybody is opposing it. What is the problem? I mean, Alhaji, you should be able to relate to the principles.
Well, thank you, Dr. Ruben Abati. I first want to address an issue that I don't want to comment on things based on North and South, regional, or even religious. And I don't think that this bill is all about Northern Nigeria. I know you are from Ogun, a deputy gubernatorial candidate of one of the parties before. And I would say that this bill is only fair to Ogun and Lagos, not Southwest as a whole, as I see it. So the issue is also not about governors of Northern Nigeria or League of Democrats or Northern elders. If there is any elder in the North, I assume that having reached nearly 75 years of age, I ought to be one of the elders. But the truth of the matter is that the press and the academia are not doing very well in promoting national unity and cohesion. That every one of us is just talking about religion, tribe, where one comes from. It is very, very wrong. You don't build a nation like that. It should be that the problem of a Kanuri man in Maiduguri should be the problem of an Awori man in Lagos. That is how you build a nation, not segregating it into tribal or religious segments. So having said that, I want to tell the world that many people who comment on this bill did not even read it. And if they read it, they have not really studied the nuances of this bill. And I want to also say that most governors in Nigeria, not only in the North, are so pissed off because when this bill was being created by Tai Oyedele and his group, that they have never consulted any governor outside Lagos. So for them, it is an ego problem that it is only the views of the governor of Lagos that is in this bill. Whether they will accept this, my view, or not, I want to tell the world that this is the situation.
Alaji, no.
And I can't.
No, Alaji. The National Economic Committee, the NEC, comprising all the governors of the states, that bill was presented before them. It was also taken to FEC. So there was representation. It's not fair to say it's only Governor Sanwo-Olu.
Was it taken to the NEC and discussed with the other governors when this bill was being developed?
No. It was taken to NEC. It was taken to FEC.
I say no.
Okay, but it was taken.
Which one is NEC?
National Economic Council.
NEC, what did NEC say when they took it to them? What do they say?
No, there was consultation.
They say withdraw it.
No,
I say,
I'm not aware of that.
Please, doctor, it's okay. That is your view. And I'm talking to you about the view of other people, including myself, that it has become an ego problem. And even if any governor as an individual tells Mr. President that he's supporting him, let him tell that governor that he's lying. All of them are speaking with one voice. I'm just trying to tell the world what is really on the ground. So, this is the problem. Now, you are talking of expanding the revenue base, but you are not looking at the critical stage this country is in. If you increase any revenue, if you increase it, it will affect the economic status of the people of this country. We are already crying of hunger, we are crying of poverty, we are crying of deprivation. Once there is any increase by 0.1 into the earnings of the people, it will affect them adversely. Even if it is good, this is not the time to bring more hardship on the people.
Okay.
And we should be humane. What we are. Just hold on. We should be humane in what we are doing. And this revenue bill, as submitted to the National Assembly, cannot stand the test of time because the revenue bill has gone contrary to some provisions of the Constitution. It is within the province of the federal government or any state government or local government to create an idea of expanding its revenue base. But the sharing of the revenue is not the responsibility of the federal government nor that of the National Assembly.
Okay.
It is of the National Assembly to the extent that when they look at the sharing, they will have to change the Constitution by going round so that they remove the authority of the revenue mobilization from that province. That has not been done. And to say, let's do more consultation so that people comment on this matter, I don't think it is a negation or a disrespect or even whatever against the president. It is not. This is our country. If the president presents anything, and we, the people of Nigeria, say no, I'm coming. We, the people of Nigeria, say no. We should be, our views should be respected because the president and the governors and members of the National Assembly are there because we put them there. So they should respect our views.
Okay, Alhaji, the last time I checked, nobody has said Nigerians should not express their views. That's why the National Assembly is saying there will be a public hearing, okay? And that public hearing, I imagine, I expect that it will take place. But two things.
Galadima expressed concerns over the proposed tax revenues, warning that any increase in taxation could exacerbate the already dire economic conditions citizens face. He emphasized that many are at a breaking point and additional financial burdens would only deepen their hardship. Galadima also criticized the proposed bills, arguing it conflicts with constitutional provisions. He pointed out that determining the revenue sharing formula is not within the jurisdiction of the federal government or the National Assembly. Instead, these responsibilities lies with the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, unless the Constitution is amended to transfer these powers to the National Assembly. Furthermore, Galadima urged elected officials to respect the people's will, noting that if the public opposes to the tax reform bills, their representatives must reflect their objections in legislative decisions.
You have the public hearing. You have the president reported in the newspapers recently that he has sent emissaries to leaders of the North. Now, those emissaries, have they come across? Or Northern elders and leaders and governors are just saying they don't even want to listen to anybody. They say the media is using the word adamant, that they want that bill withdrawn first. So you are calling for dialogue. You are calling for consultation. The presidency has extended this olive branch and say, let's talk. Let's look at the details. What are those nuances that you say you object to? What are those nuances, if you may be specific?
People are already making their views known. I have my view. One of my views is that the president or the federal government has no business in sharing the expanded revenue net which is collected. It is the responsibility of Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission. It is not that of the president. They are the only people that have the right to share between federal government, state governments, and local government revenues of the nation. Even if that bill is passed, I want to assure you, Dr. Ruben Abati, that people can go to court and throw it and nullify it because it is not their responsibility. Let's take what is the old formula of sharing. Have you seen the old formula of sharing and what is now presented to the National Assembly? They are a complete negation. That is why people are suspicious. And for us to remove that suspicion, let's put all hands together, look at this bill dispassionately as a Nigerian bill, not a sectional bill or a personal bill of anybody. And we come up with what is acceptable to the nation because it is our own revenue. It is not a personal revenue of anybody. Okay. So the Nigerians should understand this.
Okay, Alhaji. Now, you are talking about distribution. I think that's, is this section 72? Yes. Section 72 of the proposed VAT bill.
Yes.
Which says 60% of derivation. And some of the northern governors, whether from Borno or Gombe or Nasarawa or Bauchi, they have said this is unacceptable.
Why, Doctor, just hold on. Please, I object to you using the word northern governors.
Okay.
You can say Nigerian governors or some governors.
Okay,
please,
governors.
The word north should never be in your dictionary.
Okay, the governors. From Gombe.
Because there is no north.
Okay, from Gombe
Yes.
to Borno, to Nasarawa, to Bauchi. They are saying that, attaching the distribution formula to derivation, 60%, the law says in section 72, will only favor the south. You have mentioned Lagos and Ogun. So the simple explanation is that this has to do with where headquarters of productive companies are based. Now, shouldn't the issue be that northern leaders should worry more about the lack of productivity in the north? If there is productivity in the north, that section 72 will not be an issue.
There is no productivity, for example, in Lagos on how people make phone calls in Damaturu or Gombe. Why should Lagos now take the credit? But I don't want you to use the word northern leaders, northern governors. They are the governors of Gombe, Nasarawa, and Bauchi or whatever. They are not northern governors. They may belong to the old north. And this word you are using, north, is the problem that is always bringing division into the country. An academician and a refined journalist like you should avoid the use of religion, the use of tribe, and the use of geography for us to have one Nigeria.
Okay, I get your point, but I'm still talking about, I said section 72, it's actually section 77, about derivation.
The federal government has
you
no,
produce,
let me
you
tell
earn. So if you are not producing, you cannot complain.
So the telephone I'm making in Damaturu is a production for Lagos because the headquarters of MTN is in Lagos. Is that what you are telling me?
No, I'm asking you to explain what that objection is, because I've been hearing derivation should not be the
I'm just. No. It is the consumption.
Yeah, it's
the consumption.
VAT is a
Because
consumption tax. Yes.
Listen. VAT is consumption tax, and if you increase VAT by 0.1%, prices in the country will skyrocket. It will affect everybody. And the situation in Nigeria now is that you don't add any hardship on the people. That is what we are saying.
In conclusion, Buba Galadima has voiced serious concerns about the proposed tax reform bill, emphasizing that any increase in taxes could lead to greater economic hardship for Nigerians. His position reflects the anxieties of many citizens, particularly the federal government's apparent resolve to pass the bill without adequate public consultation. This approach has drawn widespread criticism, with some accusing the administration of imposing the reforms without regard for the people's input or welfare. Is Galadima right to raise this concern, or is the government's determination a necessary step towards fiscal restructuring? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you found this analysis insightful, be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more updates and in-depth commentary.